Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope everybody is really doing well. And Bitcoin is pushing up, the way I expected and the way I mentioned as well regarding the USD dominance. And as I mentioned, when we start losing a reward at a resistance of 5.24%, for the USD dominance to go back down to 786 Fibonacci level for a retest. Well, that's exactly what we are getting at the moment. And I think we are at a very crucial point for the USD DOM. Basically, the focal point of this whole analysis today is going to be whether what can be expected from BTC or the market going ahead. On the lower term time frame, if I just have to tell you, well, this whole USD dominance is, the way I count, the way I see it, is some sort of very good diagonal. Basically, it's a very, very, very interesting diagonal. And the diagonal is like, three waves structure with overall 5 waves, and a very clean diagonal in my view. So this might be the top for the USD DOM, might be, I'm not sure, but might be. And the way the things are, looks like at the point, basically we might be doing something like this. So we might be just, going chop, chop, chop till the blood moon. And at this point, as we have seen a very sharp move on the downside, this may be wave A, and this might be some sort of a wave B might be coming, and then we're going to see wave C. So most likely, very, very likelihood and a very high probability at this point, I'm just going to put it this way, very likelihood that, the blood moon might just give us a pump actually. Out of nowhere. Nobody expects the blood moon to give us a pump, but there is a possibility that the blood moon can actually give us that pump. I mean, still in the historically, I've never seen a blood moon giving us a pump. It always dumps, of course. 95% of time, if you just check, even if you check the historical data, it will just give you the some sort of a dump. But the way the structure looks like, the way things are, looking at the moment, what I can sense at this point on the USD DOM, that this might be sharper wave A, 5 waves, another 5 waves wave B, C, and D, and the blood moon comes up, and we just chop, 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 and then March, April, we do something like this for the USD dominance. So in fact, what we can be looking for is that, March, somewhere from March 13 to March 25, things looks really good at the point. We might see a good bounce. March actually can surprise everyone. Normally, the historical trend is if, February is red and, March is always red. This is what the historical trend is. You check it on since 2017, you check it, or even if you want to check since 2010, you can check it. Whenever the February is red, March is red, of course. The way this things are shaping up, till we are under 5.24%, this is my high probability count, which also puts me into the scenario where, BTC at this point, likelihood that the bottom might be in at 78K. And, we might be forming some sort of a very cool triangle formation, or maybe irregular expanded flat, meaning that, we might just go back to $93,000 or $92,875, reject, and tomorrow there is a summit. We have a crypto summit with Trump, and normally these sort of summits are, can give you a push up and a quick dump. So we might even, go for like this irregular expanded flat. And if it does irregular expanded flat, then probably we will just dump slightly lower than, we might just go for the 2024 value very high. So if it all depends on how the structure is. If you're forming a triangle, then yes, definitely triangle will hold up. And I might be looking to long the March open again. This is what the good levels for us to long then. Because if you look at the price action and algo, we are holding up EMA 200 daily at 85.8. So we have been chopping around here, and we did close yesterday as well above 85.8 EMA 200 daily. So practically negating the whole downtrend situation at the point, for now at least, unless we start losing 85.8 again, then we are very, very bad. But overall, there's a possibility that we might do something like this, and we go to 102, 104K. Not telling that we are ultra bullish at this point, but something on this on this line that the whole engulfing candle that we have on the monthly time frame for Bitcoin. I mean, you understand that we have an engulfing candle, correct? So the engulfing candle for this whole Bitcoin is aiming for push up to 786, can even push up to 886 Fibonacci levels, which is around 99.985. So this whole engulfing candle scenario is slightly tricky at this point. So we are at a resistance. Long don't make sense at over here unless until we are flipping the 2025 opens. The yearly opens around 93.6. So we are at a resistance. And honestly, I wanted to short Sol, and I did short it. Shorted Sol. I was expecting a push on the downside. I got some small dump as well, not big one. Rejection from 149 to 144. This small one. But I was expecting a more move on the downside. But at this point, it seems that we are likely going for a 154 resistance. But we are at a resistance right now, and I will definitely be pulling my strings to short Solana again, because I'm aiming for Sol to go to 120, 150, 115. That is going to be the good entry zone. I mean, this might be a very good head and shoulder sort of thing at this point over here. So I am expecting I'll definitely reshort the Sol, and this time I might go for swing, not scalp, like 0.25%. Not for scalps, I normally take 0.25 to 0.5% max risk on my wallet, the leverage wallet, and the degen one. And for swings, I go slightly more, around 1.5 to 2%. Because of the wider stop loss. But this is what I feel. I mean, we can go up slightly, push up here, because we have an order block, the 1 hour order block around here, 157, 158. And we are also in the red box, which is a resistance. So if you just look at the daily time frame, this is where the breaker block is for Sol. What we can expect for Solana, in my view, is it is a very good short, can be a good short on Sol. I'm expecting to move it down to take the liquidity and go back down to 115. This is where the whole support is. So 115, 111 is a very good level for Sol, and I'm expecting it to short it. It's a very good short. It will be a very good short. There are two levels to short. As I mentioned, we'll push up to one golden pocket zone that we have around. It can be a good short. The best would be to wait till tomorrow summit, and if it can give us a push to 161, that's a very good resistance over here, ladies and gentlemen. Very strong resistance we have there. It's a range equilibrium basically, and that is going to be a clean short. Short it here with a stop loss above 175, and with the take profit targets of 120 and 115. So that's what we will do. So we'll see how we are closing tomorrow, or how the things are going to be during the summit. Yes, the dominance is at support. So basically, I'm expecting a bounce, guys. So we just have to be slightly cautious around here. And regarding the ETH as well, the same plan for ETH. If you just look at the 4 hours time frame, ETH swept the lows, making it very bearish. Practically, this whole thing is some sort of a ABC. If you remember, I posted when Ethereum was around 2107. I mentioned that $2,000 to 1993s were you should be buying, and I will be buying basically with a stop loss under 1878, and that's exactly what I did. I mean, I bought around 2000, and I've slightly DC'd under 2000 as well, and it gave us a good push of 15 to 16% move on ETH. Might take profits over here, guys. Not a big bag I have, but I mentioned in my corner, this is where just buy some spots. Basically, I'm not trading on the leverage at the moment. Leverage is slightly very risky, even if you go with the low risk, because of the stop loss. The stop losses are, we are at the moment in some sort of a price discovery for ETH, because you are losing the bigger range. If you just have to talk about the range, this is the range. So basically, what I expect for ETH as well, push up like this, and maybe one more down to 1933, can even go to 1792. Now there are the levels where we would be very bullish for ETH. So if you really want to be bullish on ETH, let it flip $2,500. Once it flips here, then you can ride it till $2,981 to $3,000. Till then, don't be bullish. We are literally in the range low zone, and this is exactly where the sell-off happens. This is exactly where the shorts would kick in. This is exactly where a lot of people will be bearish and start selling, and panic is going to happen. So this is the zone where all the bad things are going to happen with the market for ETH. Basically, the retailers are going to, exit, and a lot of things will happen in this zone basically. So you really want to be bullish. We're bullish about 2,500, and just look at the Ethereum EMAs. Ethereum, we are having a very bad death cross on the daily, where EMA 50 had crossed EMA 200. That's the first death cross we have seen on ETH. After we saw very similar death cross in 2024 August last year basically, and after that we saw Ethereum dumping back down to sweep the lows. I mean, this is exactly what is happening right now at the moment. We took the lows. Practically speaking, we might take one more time, or this is can be a very, 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 strong move on the downside. 2,500 is what you really want to see for ETH to reclaim. On the weekly time frame, if you see, Ethereum is very bearish, because we have, this is the first candle I'm seeing in the 3 days, which will close. Ethereum is literally going back under EMA 200 on the weekly for the very first time. EMA 200 on the weekly for the very first time. It's not good. It's really not good. Just look at the Binance chart on the spots. Binance is still above the EMA 200 on the weekly, but let's see how do we close it. If we can survive, if we can sustain this EMA 200 weekly, then definitely, in my view, I think ETH is good, because in the history, even the bear market, ETH closed the EMA 200 for few weeks basically. It just closed under in 2022. Then we had a very big sell-off, 23-25% move on the downside. So practically, you see, it dumped 40% overall previously in 2022 under EMA 200 weekly. And once it reclaimed, it is very, very bullish. This is for the first time it's happening. In case if you lose this again, EMA 200 weekly, you can expect another 40 to 50% move, 40 to 35% move, clearly around $1,340 to $1,400 if we start closing under EMA 200 weekly. If you don't close, then I think this is going to be very, very good for the market for the coming days. Even if the blood moon can probably sweep the lows and take the liquidity under, or go around 1970, 1933, but this is the green count is going to follow. Basically, we will see a very good sharp move on an upside for ETH to fill the CME gap. If you remember, we do have a CME gap. So just look at here, ETH on the future CMEs. If you look at here, we already filled the gap on the CME. A partial gap is filled over here, as you can see on the daily chart. This is the partial gap which is filled. We still have the gap till 2625. So what we can do on ETH on the daily time frame, as I mentioned, maybe push up slightly and then one more down, or maybe double bottom sort of a thing, 2080 holds, and we reclaim it, and then we can run up like this. Or the best would be just go down here to $1,900, 1933, because we have a nice order block, and just don't close it under. This week is going to be very, very crucial for ETH. If Ethereum closes this week under EMA 200, then it's a dead game. It's khalas actually. It would be very, very bad for the market, trust me. If you look at the CME also, we did one closure under, last week we closed under EMA 200. So this week is going to be very, very crucial. If this week itself we are closing under EMA 200, then CME is going to be very, very bearish. Bearish, as I mentioned, 40-50% move on the downside for ETH is definitely going to happen, which means that you can expect probably, further move down towards 1,585, maybe even 0.865 to 1,357. That's going to be a worst case scenario for ETH basically. So this week is very, very crucial for CME. It's just 1 day we have. For the rest of the charts, we have 3 days basically for all those things. Bitcoin dominance, still expecting a push up higher. Makes sense. It's having a very similar chart like USD DOM, basically. So I'm expecting a push up higher. A very similar chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like this makes sense. So now the push can happen with BTC pumping or Bitcoin dumping, and the alts are going wrecked. Ethereum going wrecked. That's the only two possibilities that I see at the point for the Bitcoin dominance to pump. So overall, guys, for the BTC on the hard term time frame, I'm playing the monthly bearish engulfing candle. Still no changes in the plan. The monthly engulfing candle still stands valid. we can probably push it up, as I mentioned, to 99K. Maybe it can even retest 100K on the CMEs, you know. Even if it goes to 100K, doesn't matter. We still have that engulfing candle over here, and you know, something you can't ignore it. And similarly on the Coinbase as well, this engulfing candle is something we shouldn't be ignoring it. Unless it invalidates, then it's a different story. So far I've not seen an engulfing candle invalidated on the monthly. Just look at here. This is an engulfing candle. Just try to identify any engulfing candles that we can over here. Since this was an engulfing candle, then you got a very good bullish engulfing, so which pumped up the market. There are two sort of engulfing over here. Again, you got a bullish engulfing over here, which pumped up the market. Then you got a bullish engulfing candle again over here, which pumped up the market. And a bearish engulfing, again a bearish engulfing, and then you got a move on the downside. So I mean, I've never seen a bearish or engulfing candle, you know, not plays out. And this can be a sort of engulfing. This can be or might be. I'm not sure the definition of the engulfing, but this might be. And if I consider this as an engulfing, yes, we did sweep the lows like this, accumulated, and then push up. So I would say it kind of invalidated this. So this is the only one I can say got invalidated. This was the engulfing candle. It played out. We moved down to 49K. And now again, we are getting a very similar sort of an engulfing candle over here. So, I mean, you can say, I mean, 99% of the time it plays out. One, two, maybe I've seen only once it doesn't play out, but normally it plays out. So we just have to be very, very careful, you know. In the whole world, we can be bullish. In the whole world, we can be aiming for 120K, 125K or whatever. But looking to the structure, definitely, I don't feel confident in longing at this point, at this moment. You know, but definitely I'll be looking to short. This box is where I would be aiming to short 100K to 98K. And definitely we will short it, because my next target would be to sweep the lows around 77.8. It can go till 74K. 74 is a very good support, and it can go even to $71,000. Basically, this is what I'm aiming. This is my plan. I'm not expecting a push up higher. If bulls decides to push up higher, then this invalidates the whole engulfing candle and makes it more bearish, because then it will form some sort of a very good, you know, what do you say, broadening top pattern. So we will see at that point, but I'm looking to short this. I'll definitely short it. When market gives this push, I'll be shorting it for sure. So for now, I think we will just have to wait and watch. I don't expect market just simply give us push from here. We are at a, you know, here's a dominance at support. So I'm expecting some sort of accumulation, a triangle formation sort of thing. Similarly, guys, ETH I already mentioned, Solana I already mentioned. Cardano can be a very, very good short. I know you guys won't agree with me, but the move that I saw was a clean ABC, guys. Very, very clean ABC, meaning that, you know, this is some sort of ABC, and even if you push it up till 1.04, 1.05, I think Cardano will just probably dump it back down to 0.3. I mean, this is a very, very high probability for it to play out. Cardano looks to me like some sort of a very good, you know, bearish chart. Look at the XRP as well. I'm pretty much bearish on XRP at the moment. The only reason why I'm bearish, because we tested the 1414, we rejected it, and the way we pumped and dumped, you know, this can be A, B, and C. This is clearly some sort of an irregular expanded flat. I mean, I've seen this flat many times, and this can be, you can say, some sort of a bear flag as well. Unless we invalidate, unless we flip certain levels for XRP, in my view, the certain levels for XRP, the support, the resistance we have is here. So if really we want to be bullish, then we need to flip these levels. Till we don't flip it, I think XRP can be a very good short. Basically, I would like to see XRP pushing up to This is some sort of a golden pocket zone somewhere between GP zone and 702 Fibonacci levels, which is 2.764 and you can DC it to 2.8. Your stop loss is clear, and your take profit targets would be the sweep of the lows, basically to this support that we have around 1.33. And this is a very good setup for swings actually. Normally I'd like to play this setup. I mean, I've seen very similar sort of thing previously, because I can sense it on XRP. If you just look at the logarithmic chart, you will be able to identify what I'm saying. Is you can clearly see 5 waves on XRP. 1, 2, 3, triangle 4, 5. And the sharp move, it can be wave A, this is wave B, and the C can be charismatic. It can just probably go down to the 0.78. It can even push it down to 0.5, the initiation of the pump. So it can be a very good swing basically, guys. So I personally think that XRP is more likely done here actually. Unless we are flipping the red box 2.9, then it's a different story. We will reanalyze things and we might just go for some long opportunities. But I think XRP is done. Cardano, XRP, they both are done. Even Litecoin is more likely done. Litecoin is also having a very similar chart, basically very similar setups. So if one follow, the rest of the thing will follow basically. So let's say if XRP follows, Cardano follow, Litecoin will follow them for sure. So if you look at this whole, as I mentioned previously as well, I would be bullish only and only once we start flipping 147.3. Till we don't flip, no long. In fact, even we would be bullish only when it flips 135. So if we don't flip, we don't long. We never flipped on the daily over here. This is a very unfortunate for Litecoin. But if Litecoin wants to be bullish, basically it needs to flip at least $125, at least. If it don't flip, then I think it can be a good short again. We can expect a pullback till 60, maybe even $40 overall, because this whole pump can be some sort of A, B, and C actually. And now we are doing A, B, and C. Maybe sweep of the lows and then push up like this. So we have 2 options at this point. We really want to be bullish. This $125 should be flipped. Till then, I would not even touch Litecoin. If it flips, then yeah, definitely we will buy. If you just look at the daily chart, the RSI is under 50, which is quite giving me bad vibes. Weekly RSI still going back to the support of 50. So we'll see how we give some reaction there. And if we lose that, bear market begins for the Litecoin as well. So Litecoin will be khalas at that point. So I think a lot of alts are giving me bear vibes. Tao, I mentioned Tao, we have lost the trend line and it's bearish. I'm expecting Tao probably at this moment to go back down to 227. Even it can go down to 216. If you lose that, then you can expect it to go dump it back down to 120 or so. If you really want to be bullish on Tao, let it flip 365. If it flips, bullish. Till then, don't buy it. Just wait for the bullish confirmation, okay? Till it don't flip 365, don't buy it. Just stay out of it, because this shit can literally, going to take maybe AI coins lot down. The only alt is now in my favor actually that I feel really like it Bitcoin Cash. Not because it bounced, but because of the structure it has. And I was expecting it to push up till 364, and it just went to 380, more than 385, which is 420, which quite invalidate my 5 waves, but it gives me confidence with ABC. Why I like this thing, and not because it's bullish, I like it because we are in order block here, and it can give us a very good short opportunity, very good short one. I really like it. So if we can push up like this one more time to 446, 449, we can be shorting it, we can get a good short, and the take profit targets would be around 294, 295 support. So this is the resistance, and this is the support we have. So we're just going to chop between in this whole levels. Overall, guys, I think we are at support. So you just have to be slightly careful. Just look at the total crypto market cap. Total crypto market cap weekly is still to see how are we going to close this weekly. Honestly speaking, the weekly is still quite tricky at this point, and we are still holding 2.5 trillion, which still makes me think that there is a possibility of a bull count, which means that one more push is still a possibility. And I would be saying that it's a possibility. However, if you look at the monthly chart, we are having a bearish engulfing, and along with the bearish engulfing, we are also having a strong order block here. This is the order block. So whenever the price goes back inside this block, for now, it's a very good shorting opportunity. Very, very good shorting opportunity. Whenever, even if we go back to February opens that we never tested it. I'm not talking about March opens, February opens, previous month open, basically, then it can be a very good short opportunity. But overall, if I just have to look at from the things perspective, I'm not aiming for longs, but I'm more aiming for shorts. Yeah, even if you want to long it, I'll be longing with a very good confirmation, or we can just scalp it probably. We can just scalp based on the strategies we have, the VWAP TPO strategy, or you can just use the 2-minute strategy that I've showed for the gold. And today gold paid a very, very good money for me. When I woke up, gold started going back under here, somewhere around here basically. And I wanted to short it, so I shorted the retest of VWAP around 2920, and I put the stops manually around 2924. I waited for it to go back down, and as soon as it started breaking under, I reshorted here at 2916. I reshorted 2910 on the retest of EMAs on 2-minute chart. I reshorted around 2905. And there was a strong SFP swing filler pattern. Under this, I booked profits at 2894 or 2893, 93.8. And it was a very good trade basically. So I'm practically done for the day. But overall, the way we are, till we are under 2911, gold is still bearish. We went till 2930 yesterday, as I mentioned, that it is going to be a good short, 2925 to 2930. And I've got that swing, and I'm gonna let that swing ride. For scalps, this is easy way to scalp it. Maybe I will reshort again on the retest of VWAP here, or you can short it here again. You can short it here again. And if you see that it's reclaiming and going up here, you can close it manually. So your stop loss practically would be above 2917, 2918. And your take profit targets for the shots would be lower, basically way lower, because we are just forming a distribution pattern here around 2881 and maybe 2831 is what you should be aiming for the short. If you're just swinging, okay, for scalps you can just probably take profit quickly. If you make good money, just exit. Don't wait for, because this strategy problem is that it don't give you take profit targets. It can just probably give you the trend. What the trend is. So you just write the trend, that's it. Trend is your friend. Okay. Similarly, if you just look at the BTC chart as well, over here, based on this strategy, a 2-minute time frame, we got a very good short opportunity on the 2-minute time frame around 91.558 to 9600. So till we don't reclaim the VWAP of 91.445, you just avoid longing it. Once you flip, then you can long. Similarly, yesterday, I would say today morning itself, when we got a push up from 90,000 to 64, we got a reclaim over here, and on a pullback, this was the pullback, you could have longed it, and it was a very nice, good pips actually, very good pips. From here till here, it's a 2% move. Again, from the pullback to here, again another 1.8%. Again, the pullback from here, it's another 1.4%. Of course, the stop loss would be under the VWAP. Now, you can't probably just go for exact top, so you might be looking for exit around here when it starts breaking under. So you can say that you can at least make a good amount of money with the LTF scalps using this strategy. check the video, I've already uploaded it. So that's what I have, guys, for the overall picture for total and everything. The last chart I will be taking is, the other crypto market cap. The other crypto market cap is at resistance, ladies and gentlemen. So practically the good part about this other crypto market cap is we are hanging in between. What does it mean? It means that we did not took the lows. We did not sweep the lows, basically. We did not took the liquidity under, and we have not took the liquidity above. So we have open. I mean, what do we do here? I mean, we have an engulfing candle as well. I have played this engulfing on other crypto market cap, and it did not play it out perfectly last time I remember. A very similar engulfing candle I know that I have played, and it did not play it out. And this happened during this level. So we had a massive dump, price pumped up, we got an engulfing, and once the price starts reclaiming the engulfed candle, we get a massive sweep up to take the liquidity above, and then we got a massive move on the downside. If this similar pattern have to or likely to follow, there is a possibility that we might see, as I mentioned, blood moon can give us a very good bounce. So if we can just probably flip it here around 257, we are at a resistance right now. This is a strong resistance, guys. If we can flip these levels here today, tomorrow, and this whole weekend, in these 3 days, if we accumulate here, we hold here, we can literally long alts, for example, let it pump up, like just go here, take the liquidity, and then dump like this. This would be a very, very good opportunity, not only to short it, but to long it. We long here on the retest, like accumulation happens, we long with a very tight stop loss under this candle, a very tight one. And if it goes here, we short it with the stops like this, and you can target pretty much the swing lows that we have around $151 billion. This is going to be your exit for everything, basically. The bounce is going to be exit for everything. Okay, whatever the else you hold, you can hedge it, you can exit or whatever. For example, if you have near, you can hedge it, or you can short it as well at that point of time on the bounce. You have waves, you can hedge, you can sold, you can sell it, or you can short it as well. You have LDO, you can hedge, you can short it at that point of time. Of course, I'll keep you posted when we do get this bounce. But definitely the bias is bearish at the moment because of the monthly engulfing candle. If that engulfing candle would not have been there, then we would have definitely thought of a bullish biasness. At this moment, I don't have any bullish biasness. Okay, the biasness that I have is bearish. Clearly bearish. There is no bullish case at the point. No bull case. Khalas. At least not for me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I just can't ignore the monthly engulfing candle. That's it. It's a very simple thing. Simple as that. So, yeah. When I got liquidated personally in 2019, practically, because I wanted to make some quick money, and I got liquidated clearly. I used to trade a lot on Bybit. At that point of time, I remember Bybit was not having USD contracts. It was having inverse contracts, basically. If you guys used to trade at that point of time, and it was only having 5 to 6 pairs BTC, like big pairs like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP was one of them, Litecoin it has, and I remember it was having Bitcoin Cash or something like that. Only 5 pairs it has, like on the major row. And at that point of time, if you look at the structure that we had at that point of time, like 34 cents here, if I remember it correctly, around 34 cents. Yeah, here, this one. This is where this structure happens. Just go back slightly on time so that I can show you. We can check it on Bitstamp. I used to chart Bitstamp a lot at that point of time because it has a very good historical data. Perfect. So if you just look at the 2019 chart here. So what we did is, when we were in the bear market, we started, going from 50 cents to going back down to 17 cents. Now, This was a very bullish thing actually, if it would have been like bullish. But why did I short it? Because of the head and shoulder. So this was your clear invalidation of 40 cents. However, if I just look at from the resistance perspective, I had a very, very strong resistance around these levels of 34 cents. Very strong. Very, very strong levels. And hence, you know, at that point of time, when we dumped back to 17 cents here, making, you know, like lower lows. So the structure was like lows, higher, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Definitely this was a liquidity. This was equal highs, and it took a liquidity till here, and we had a nice order block and 34 cents resistance on the heart and time frame, and your invalidation of 40 cents. Yeah, I went really big on this one. I shorted it here, and it went to 0.1 cents. I remember very close to 1 cent on Bybit at that point of time. Many exchanges it went to 0.11. But I do book profits there, and I did not bought it until, you know, 0.22 cents was flipped basically here, and then we played good. So now if you're asking me, a very similar opportunity is arising on XRP at this moment, basically I do think yes, considering the technical analysis and considering the structure it's forming. A very clean structure. Look at this. You had the range highs, correct, but you have a resistance around here. So I think if I just have to short it, I think 2.73 is going to be a very good levels to short it. Very, very good levels. And if I just have to probably zoom it a bit more, okay, then you will see you literally got a very good order block here, a hidden order block. That's where the sell-off happens. Practically, sorry, not here, here. You have an order block, hidden one. That's where the rejection happens and the sell-off begin. So 2.73 is that levels like we had in 34 cents. The invalidation is above 2.9. This is going to be invalidation, as I mentioned. And the rejection can lead to a breakdown, in my view, towards 1.7, a minimum. And even I would say that's the sweep of lows of 1.7. Basically, it's going to be very minimal stop loss. So yeah, I think that's a very good short opportunity, honestly speaking. It's very similar to that very tight stop loss you can have. And the take profit targets, easily you can aim for, you know, 35% move on the downside for like 1.76 to 1.7. The worst case scenario, it just simply goes nuts and go down to 1.61. Of course, XRP is famous for the wicks, so you just have to set TP. You might be slipping and dump happens, and you might not exit it. You know, it might just probably go down and bounce it like to 2.19 like this, the reaction. So you just have to set TPs, you know, you can't just probably close it endlessly or wait for it to close it. You just have to wake up, you know, for that thing. But I think this is a very good opportunity in my view. The invalidation is very, very clear. The invalidation is clearly above 2.9. And it's a very good short opportunity in my view. I personally will short it for sure. Even if I don't give you officially, but I will take this risk. I'll just probably risk 20K on this one. I might even risk more. Depends, you know, how are we going to reject and DCA. I'll just compound, because you can DC, of course. If you look at this structure, you have a very good uptrend, and once this uptrend starts losing or breaking it, you can short it more. Basically, a very clean one, you know. So that's all for the today's stream, guys. Ondo is another bear chart. I really like this guy. Basically, Ondo, another you know, short opportunity for Ondo. Basically, you have a very strong resistance. This is a strong resistance we have, 1.4825. I don't know whether we're gonna get it, but if you remember, we also have a nice resistance around 1.41 as well. what I can expect for Ondo basically, or what I expect right now, is a very good dump on Ondo. I mean, I honestly would like it to sweep this high. We have equal highs. So in case if it goes up like this, I will be shorting above 1.25 to 1.26. And with a very tight stop loss, it's for now at least 1.31. Don't want to take that risk to 1.41. I'll go very low. Like I can risk $1,000 on this, not much. 1,000. As soon as we start rejecting, go back under, I just keep on DCAing to bring that risk to maybe 20K, 30K. But this is a clean A, B, C. If someone tells you it's very bullish, then I don't know what to say. But this shit is going to end up in next few days around 0.65 to 0.7. Clearly, you can say. I mean, this is a very, very basic chart. It's speaking. Unless we flip or reclaim 1.49, then it's a different story. So 1.49 flip will be bullish. But looking to the structure, it is clearly irregular expanded flat. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, and then B, and then further down. Now, this is what Ondo is likely going to do. So I'm sorry for that. I don't have bull case, at least for now, because we are under 1.49. So till we are under 1.49, it's a clean bearish. You can't be bullish about that at the moment. Looking to the link, similar chart for the link as well. And we have an order block similar as to Ondo. Clean chart. Same chart, A, B, C, 5 waves down and 5 waves up. Clean, irregular, expanded flat. Look at the volume, shrinking volume, B wave, making people, okay, I forgot that as well on Bitcoin. The pump happened with the low volume. The volume is keep on dumping like this, meaning that we are likely going to form a triangle, or it's not a triangle, it's simply just going to go nuts from here basically, like this. So, but over now, I think we are at resistance. I would like to short around 92.9 to 93. That's what, one more push, because I'm not shorting right now because we have a summit tomorrow. And before the summit, we might see some sort of a manipulation that might happen actually. So I don't want to get scammed with that manipulation basically. There is going to be a lot of manipulation is going to happen. So yeah. If this shitcoin, the name of the shitcoin is Solana, if it starts losing this trend line, I'll give the short again. But if it just keeps on dumping from here, then I would just have to probably say myself, I just got scammed because of the stop loss. Honestly speaking, never imagined to get scammed with the stop loss, but yeah. But it's very clean. I mean, wait for it to break the trend. I mean, the Trump is now signing an executive order that whosoever commits a crime or fraud in the crypto, basically, scamming or rug pulling, he will go into jail or they'll face some sort of a, tough sentences. Let me ask, to you guys, what do you think of what he did with, with Trump coin or Millennia coin? I mean, even they rug pull basically. So, I mean, they should also be going to jail, no? Or it's just for the rest of the other people, I mean. Anyways, I'll just leave that comment for everyone else and not for myself. But yeah, I think link is not at the moment looking good, my friend. Yudin, walaikum salam, everything. This is ABC at the moment. Till we don't reclaim the $18.1, I think this is how it's going to play. Very easy short it would be. That's all for the today's stream, guys, and I hope you loved it. Just press the like button, please, and also share it with your friends. Also, if you're not still trading on Bybit, you can still trade on Bybit. There's a lot of good bonus going on Bybit, guys. So the link is mentioned in the description of the stream. Thank you and have a nice day. Take care.